I almost feel bad at this point, but not really. Wait a second. We can't go there just yet. To see how we got here, oh boy. We gotta go back 3 weeks, and you're just not gonna believe what happened. Hello, my YouTube friends. I hear a lot of good things about buying streaming overlays on Fiverr, but I don't always believe everything I hear. I've got to find out for myself. So I went out and chose 3 different artists in 3 different tiers of price, because I want to see if paying more gets you better overlays, or if you're just fine with the lowest price, and what the actual Fiverr buying experience is really like. So what happens? Well, let's check it out. The search process is simple. I put in live streaming overlays in the search, and of course, then I just press search. There really isn't any good way to filter the results, so I was just looking for good ratings with a decent amount of feedback. I clicked the heart when I found the ones I was interested in, and this creates a list. And from that list, I narrowed it down to 3 choices. I wanted the artists I choose to offer similar packages, with the big difference being price. So each one offered face cams, overlays, alerts, and different scenes. The least expensive one I chose was $35. The middle one was around 90 bucks, and the expensive one was around $200. And the delivery dates were staggered throughout a 1-week period. The order process is simple enough. Once I place the order, I have to tell the artist the details of what I want. I used the exact same information for each purchase. I didn't give a lot of detail, but I included a link to the channel and also a link to a live stream to make it easy for them to see what I do. I also included a request for a few scenes, including an incoming guest scene and panels like a tutorial with a face cam. Finally, I attached 2 versions of my logo so they knew exactly what colors I use. I am so excited to see what I get. Luckily, I don't have to wait too long for them to start to get finished. Looks like we've hit our first snag here. Today is the delivery date for our $35 package, and they are asking for an extension. The reason stated is not enough information provided. Then his comment states he's having technical issues. So of course I ask which it is, because they're not the same thing. Does he not have enough information, or is he having technical problems? He says both and asks for more input, which I provide a little bit and then accept the 1-day extension. This guy is actually really easy to communicate with, if nothing else. 4 days isn't very long to get this done, so no biggie. I'm sure there's not gonna be any other delays. Oh boy. So we have another delay request. This time it's from our $200 vendor on the day the product is supposed to be delivered. Incidentally, it's also the first time I've heard from this vendor. He states that he's too busy to complete the request service, which is surprisingly candid. Then in his comment, he says I sent the logo in the wrong file format, and it's taking him a lot of time to remove the black background. Now I've got a few red flags going off in my head. First of all, I'm pretty sure I sent all the logos with the alpha transparent background. And if I made a mistake and sent the wrong one, he could have easily contacted me before the delivery date, and I would have gladly sent it. But second, I work with files and video all the time, and there are some really easy ways to remove a black background that take almost no time at all. So why doesn't this artist know that? I uploaded a transparent copy of the logo I think he's talking about, and I accept the extension. Well, that's 2 for 3. Maybe I just got unlucky. So it's our $90 vendor's delivery date, and not surprisingly, he's requesting an extension. We're getting pretty good at this extension thing at this point. His reasons are it's taking time to render the final product. Okay, sure. Of course I go and approve the 1-day extension. So that's 100% delivery delays. Not a great start. Oh, come on now, really? So our $90 vendor requested to cancel our order, stating that his internet is out. He's very polite in his request, so of course I deny it and message him saying he did the work, I can wait a little so he can deliver it. I mean, he did the work, he should get paid. He seems very grateful that I'm willing to wait. This sort of delay and delay request happens a couple of more times with my $90 vendor. But this video can only be so long, so I'm gonna move into the actual deliveries. And that's where things get really interesting. There's not really any animation other than my logo, which is nice. I like the logo animation, that's kind of cool. Kind of resolution is a little weird and maybe a little blurry. This overlay actually looks really familiar, like I've seen it on Place It or something like that before. This is where our live stream starts, and then we would go to scene 1, boom. And we're just chatting, I guess this one was called or something like that. Scene 2 is just the face cam. And then scene 3, boom. This is another kind of just chatting screen. This would all be much cooler if these lines in the back were animated or there was some kind of animation in the text or something like that. Let's see. Then we've got just a main full headshot scene with this little animated bar at the bottom, the overlay. It's kind of cool. You know, maybe we take a break and we come back. The ending. I don't know. I mean, you get what you pay for, but I am going to message him back and say, hey, there's supposed to be 4 alerts included with this. What's the dealio? And let's see what happens. After a day or two, our $35 vendor did deliver the overlays with the 4 alerts. And obviously his interpretation of alerts is a little bit different than mine, because that meant there were 4 boxes down in the bottom that you could add names to instead of 3. They weren't actually custom animated alerts, which, okay, it's 35 bucks. All in all, I think our $35 vendor produced maybe the coolest piece of any that I got. I really like the way that he animated my logo. And for me, I just asked him to send me the logo because I thought it was cool, and that was worth the 35 bucks. I mean, let's face it, for that kind of money, how much do you really expect? The guy was really communicative, and I have to say, overall, this vendor and this particular Fiverr experience was not bad at all. Now, the $90 delivery was actually the first delivery that I got, but I'm gonna show it here just to keep the pricing continuity in place and also in the interest of time. There was actually one revision for this order, so what you're seeing here on the screen is the final revision for this order. So let's take a look. Here we are in our $90 tier. You can see we have a banner up here, and we can go to the face cam. There is no transition that was included with this one, which is kind of a bummer. This is fine as a face cam. It's not anything special, but it doesn't suck either. Let's go to our main scene. And there we go. Now the animation that's actually in this is just that little flaming ring that goes around the edges. And if I'm being honest, that actually is pretty much similar to tutorials I've shown on my channel. I want to move the face cam a little bit here so you can see that that's totally separate. I put that in there. It also, as you can see here, had alerts. So let's show you what those alerts look like. The alerts are kind of cool. I don't know that the alerts are anything different than what you would see. Like, they seem like he probably just reuses these alerts over and over again. Let's do a quick split screen so we can get a little bit better look at these alerts without me having to switch back and forth. So there we go. It's fine. They're nothing special, but they're nothing horrible either. Be right back scene right here. We've got an intro, which is nice. He included an intro, which is different and interesting. It actually kind of looks like something that you could make on Place It as well. And we've got a start screen and an end screen. That is the collection of assets that we got for $90. This guy was pretty easy to work with, other than the fact that his internet was down for like a week and a half. For $90, I would have really liked to have some sort of custom stinger that goes along with the pack. The colors are my colors. The animation is fine. It's not too distracting, but it's not terribly creative either. There's not a whole heck of a lot of scenes or anything like that to go with this. I don't know, guys. You tell me what you think of our $90 overlay pack. Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested in your feedback. These are the $200 assets. Right here you can see the face cam. And here is the intermission screen. Very nice little stinger that actually comes up. That's kind of cool. Our Be Right Back scene right here. Our ending scene right here, and our starting soon scene right here. And basically, this is how I would set up something like this if I was going to use it. This also did come with alerts, and so what we can do is we could test our subscriber, and that's fine. And we'll test a tip event here. It'll run right after. They're all exactly the same. Tips, members, subscribers, super chat, whichever. All the alerts are exactly the same. So that's what we're getting for $200. Now, I'm supposed to get a lot more. In fact, I'm supposed to get 10 scenes and 15 alerts. And as you can see, I've got Be Right Back, Ending Soon, Starting Soon, and an intermission scene. That's all I've got. And I've only got 4 alerts. So we're well short of where we're supposed to be with this. I had a feeling that something was kind of fishy here. So I went to a friend who knows a lot about this, and well, let's let him tell you.
Hey Michael, so this isn't one of Nerderdie's designs, but I do recognize the style and I was able to track it down pretty quickly. It's a design by Premade Graphics. This is the actual product that I believe he used. So if we take a look, the design is exactly the same. So you've got the text running through, you've got these triangle elements. Yeah, it's exactly the same. I would say, you know, he's downloaded this package, hopefully bought it, changed the colors, dropped your logo in, and called it a day. I noticed even the alerts look like are exactly the same as well. So, I mean, unless you've discussed with the Fiverr designer that he was going to use a template and modify it to, suit your needs, I'm sure this isn't what you were hoping for. So, good luck.
This guy's just playing the game. See, here's the thing. If you're a creator on Fiverr, you understand how the delivery and all the other aspects of this work. So when he put it out as delivered and I said, sorry, but this isn't the delivery because there's 4 scenes here and I'm supposed to get 10. There's 4 alerts here and I'm supposed to get 15. So inevitably he says, well, I'm not satisfied until you're satisfied. But he doesn't do anything actually about that. He just leaves it go because he knows that if I just leave it go for 3 days, it's automatically delivered and there's nothing I can do. So let's see if you're not satisfied, I'm not satisfied actually really means anything, because I doubt it. I almost feel bad at this point, but not really. So eventually I had to go ahead and dispute the delivery about an hour before it would have went automatically delivered and accepted because I'm not finished making this guy work. I mean, this is $200 here. When you pay $200 for assets from someone from Fiverr, you expect them to be assets that they create specifically designed and unique for your channel. And of course, as we know, that's not what we're getting. He downloaded pre-made assets from another site and changed the colors. And we know this. So I just want to see how far down the rabbit hole this guy's willing to go because, well, at this point, it's kind of funny. So what I just did there was actually request things that aren't going to be in anyone else's canned overlays. Something like a tutorial screen where there's a face cam and a tutorial screen. Well, that's not out there. It's not available. That's not something he's going to be able to download. So I'm fascinated to see exactly where he takes this because obviously he can't use any of the assets that he's already downloaded from someone else. Now the saga does continue and I'll get to that in a second. Every other Fiverr video I can remember seeing has been sponsored. So when I decided to do this video, I messaged them. Not surprisingly, because I'm nobody, they never responded. I'm actually glad they didn't because I don't know how I'd be able to be comfortable giving my honest opinion if they had. I decided to do the video anyways because I wanted to know if you could get quality original live streaming assets on Fiverr for a reasonable price. And through the course of this video, it became apparent that there is a perfect sponsor for this video, and I'm really thankful that they stepped up. I'm talking about Nerd or Die. Nathan from Nerd or Die is the person who managed to locate the purchased overlays for me. So what is Nerd or Die? Nerd or Die has hundreds of different live streaming packs that have all kinds of assets like custom alerts, face cams, screens, overlays, and just about anything else that you could possibly want for your live streams. These packs are fully customizable and extremely affordable. They're absolutely awesome. And if you click the link in my description, they're gonna give my audience 15% off assets. It's friggin' sweet. Well, it's time for us to continue our saga. So right now, as of today, September 2nd, nothing else has been delivered. And there hasn't even been any other communication other than for the $200 vendor to push me into revision instead of date extension. This is another one of those, he knows how it works and we don't. See, with revision, there's no time limit. He doesn't really need to do anything except for wait for me to get tired of waiting. Personally, I'm pretty sure I've seen the final asset from this vendor because I only asked for bespoke stuff and I'm pretty sure he can't create it. But I have no idea how this is actually going to end. If you want a follow-up video to see what the whole final outcome is, leave a comment and let me know. So here's my opinion. From my experience buying live streaming overlays on Fiverr, it's just not worth the money. The only original asset that I received from any of the vendors was the animation of a logo that I actually provided. And of course, I know for sure that the $200 assets were taken from a site, and I highly suspect that if I dug enough, I could find the rest of the assets from the other vendors as well. Now, I'm not actually upset that the assets weren't original from the less expensive vendors. I honestly expected it. But once you get to $200, that's kind of a threshold where they need to be original and exceptional. And these weren't either of those things. Worst of all is the vendor didn't even deliver on the actual items promised in the order. Maybe if they had, I wouldn't have even noticed they weren't original because of the sheer volume of assets promised. In reality, he actually delivered fewer assets than either of the other vendors. Now, if you're looking for truly original live streaming assets, I would avoid Fiverr like the plague. And that doesn't mean there's not somebody there who can do it, but I just don't see it. And that doesn't mean I'm totally panning Fiverr for everything that they do. This is just one small sliver of Fiverr. And there are hundreds of other avenues where Fiverr does business and whatever they provide might be absolutely fantastic. But in the live streaming overlay or live streaming asset department, I just think you really want to avoid it. Find an actual artist or animator on Twitter or Facebook and see if you can commission them or if they'll help you out. Another truly simple alternative is Nerd or Die. Are you getting truly one-off assets? Well, not directly, no. But as you can see, you're not gonna get that on Fiverr either, even at $200. But what you will get on Nerd or Die are hundreds of different and unique quality overlays, alerts, face cams, and screens that you can easily modify with your own colors and your own logo to make them unique for your broadcast. And you can do it for a lot less than I spent on any of these Fiverr artists. That's what makes them the perfect sponsor here. So help me thank them by clicking in the link in the description and hop over there and check them out. And if you want to see how you can create your own custom stingers using free software, check this video out. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.